And welcome back to Joel Field. Bottom of the second, no score. Interesting start to this game so far, Tom. The so far scoreless game, and we talked earlier about how both teams like to get on the board early. We haven't seen that so far. It's still a lot of game to be played, and it's still early, but so far we have not seen it. Benjamin Bankston will lead it off for the SteepleCats. He'll be followed by the player of the week offensively in the New England Collegiate Baseball League, Noah Vaughn, and then Edward House, the designated hitter, due up third. So here's Benjamin Bankston leading it off. The Mainers have been able to threaten in the first couple innings, but have not had anything to show for it here so far. And here's the pitch from Miller, and that's in there for a called strike, 0-1. And the 0-1, that's a waved out and missed for strike two at a pitch that was in the dirt, 0-2.
Interesting, too, to see Vaughn in this lineup. For an offensive player of the week, you'd figure to have him somewhere 3, 4, 5. Instead, he's shaded down in that bottom part of the order. He's down in that 6th spot.
And the 0-2, another wave at the pitch and miss for strike three at another ball in the dirt. So Bankston's down on 3 straight pitches. And now Noah Vaughn will bat with 1 out, nobody on.
And that's probably the way you want to face Vaughn. Base is empty and man out. Somebody who was so dangerous last week in the opening week of any CBL action year in 2016. This is probably how you want to face Vaughn. Not much damage you can do other than bringing he himself home. And I guess we'll find out if Miller's up to the task. His college teammate, Will Tribuker, the pitcher of the week last week for the league.
Vaughn hitting .474 so far on the year, 3 home runs. Scored 7 runs, has 9 hits, and has a stolen base. And he's now ahead here 2-0 here in this at-bat. And the 2-0 is inside for ball 3, 3-0.
Conservative approach here from Miller, working things over the corners. That time he went inside and backed Vaughn off the plate. The other two are outside.
And the 3-0 is misses for ball 4, so a 4-pitch walk, and Vaughn is on with 1 out. Second base runner of the game for the SteepleCats, Edward House, will be the hitter.
You have to think, as much as you, with Vaughn anyhow, would want to pitch him carefully. I don't know if a 4-pitch walk was in the plans. Nonetheless, Miller puts him on base.
So 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the second, and here's the pitch to House, and that just missed for ball 1, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch misses for ball 2, 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So the 2-0 pitch. And that's lined in the air to center. That's going to get down right up the middle for a base hit. Nice line drive and piece of hitting by House. It's 2 on with 1 out for the SteepleCats, who are in business here in the second.
That it is, and you're working your way down to the bottom third of the order, and they're doing quite well. Vaughn in the 6th spot, the walk. House now at single to center field, and that'll bring out a meeting of the minds. Montpierre and Miller going to stand atop the mound and have a discussion. No coach appearance yet, no Chris Morris. The manager likes to do his own appearances on the hill and to talk to his pitcher, his catcher, and his infield. He'll stay in the dugout for the time being, but he'll kick things back to Dustin Shirley. And right here, it'll be up to the bottom of the North Adams SteepleCats order to bring home, if any, runs in this inning.
Shirley hitting .263 on the year. He's had a phenomenal season on defense so far. And here's the pitch, and that's in the dirt for ball 1, 1-0. So So 1 ball, no strikes. On deck is Kyle Brennan, the catcher. And the 1-0 is foul back, 1-1.
For Miller this season, he only appeared in one game prior, a relief appearance against the Ocean State Waves. 1 game, 1 inning, 1 walk, struck out 3. Opponent batting average of straight 0 entering this ball game.
And the 1-1 misses. It's 2-1 downstairs. 2 balls, 1 strike. On Dustin Shirley, 2 runners on at first and second. And 1 out, bottom of the second, no score. Brennan waiting on deck. Miller is set. Look at the runner at second. And now here comes the pitch. And that misses, 3-1.
Hitters count for Shirley. Not a great situation to be in if you're Miller. You put the last 2 men on base, and you've fallen behind this guy here. You're going to face the 9 man after him and Kyle Brennan. But this is a hitter's count. He can basically afford to pick a location, pick a pitch, and if it's there, swing at the fences. If not, hold back.
The 3-1 pitch is fouled back, and the count is full. Obviously, in terms of facing the number 9 hitter, you'd want to face him with 2 outs instead of 1.
I mean, the only silver lining, I suppose, is that you have a double play opportunity with the force out, a runner on first base, force out at second. I mean, that's the good news. The bad news is Shirley and Brennan. Brennan is a much better double play candidate than Shirley, the catcher as opposed to the second baseman.
And the 3-2 is fouled back. So another good at bat here in this one. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here is the pitch. And that misses for ball 4. And the bases are loaded here in the second.
Oh, boy. Troy Miller missed on that pitch. Off speed, outside corner at the knees. Just a little bit outside or perhaps a little bit low. Real hard to tell where exactly that one missed. All we do know is that it did. And you're absolutely right, Robert. It loads the bases up here. A tough situation for Miller to work his way out of now. And a walk, a single, a walk. 2 of these batters by his own hand have gotten on base.
And to pitch to Brennan is in there for a called strike, 0-1. Infield playing normal double play depth. Nobody is in to potentially cut off the run at home for the Mainers, and now it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Brennan. Aces are wild. As somebody up here mentioned, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bases loaded in the bottom of the second, no score. Here's the pitch in there for called strike 2, 1-2.
Certainly you'd imagine Miller wants the 9 guy before he goes back around to the top of the order. He'll take anything he can get right now, but certainly you'd want to get the 9 man before going back to the top of the order.
Absolutely. And the 1-2 is going to be fouled back. So 1 ball, 2 strikes on Kyle Brennan. Here is the pitch, and that misses outside for ball 2, 2-2.
And one thing Miller's tried to do, and we saw that in the at-bat with Shirley, is when he's tried to finish hitters off, he tries to go to the outside part, whether it's something hard, a fastball, like he did in that case, or with Shirley, it was a breaking ball. He tries to finish outside.
And the 2-2 misses for ball 3, 3-2, full count. So full count, 1 out, bases loaded in the bottom of the second. Crowd is getting into it.
Nowhere to put him.
Can't put him anywhere without forcing home a run. And the payoff pitch is on its way, and that's going to be chopped foul. trying to get to the top of the order. Due up next for the SteepleCats, it'll be Rioto waiting on deck. Rioto 0 for 1 in this game, grounded out to first, his first time up in the first. The payoff pitch. That misses for ball 4. That forces home a run. The SteepleCats strike first. It's 1-0 here in the second.
That's 3 walks in the inning, and that will summon Chris Morris, the Mainers manager. He'll come out and going to have a discussion now.
3 walks this inning has helped advance the runners all the way around the bases. Bases are still loaded with just 1 out. And it'll be interesting to see what happens here. I've seen a lot of games where the pitching coach comes out, has his talk with the pitcher, and the pitcher really settles down after that, starts throwing strikes. I've seen that before. Interesting to see how that works here. It is the top of the SteepleCat lineup coming up. Nick Rioto starting it off. Still bases loaded, 1 out. Rioto will be followed by Holst, Daniel Holst. And now the bullpen is stirring for the Mainers. So seeing a short leash by Miller. He's still in the game, but certainly after any signs of struggle, the Mainers will be sure to have somebody ready.
Left fielder, number 12.
And they'll see if he can get out of this inning quickly and induce a double play ball. You know, you can just ask that guy to sit down and hopefully get more than just an inning and a third out of Troy Miller.
And that's lined through the hole on the right side for a base hit. Scoring is House. They're going to hold Shirley at third. So the second hit of the inning, just advances the runners 90 feet. But nevertheless, it is 2-0. SteepleCats on top.
Solid piece of contact to the right side that time off the bat of Rioto, and he just split KO Thomas and Sam Stobble. And nothing you can do about that defensively. A hard hit baseball, got a fastball that he turned on, and it's 2-0 SteepleCats.
Now here's Daniel Holst. Holst also 0 for 1 in this game. And that is in there for a called strike. 0-1 on Holst. And the 0-1 pitch, that misses for ball 1-1-1. And now the 1-1 that's going to be fouled back, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Holst. The SteepleCats still threatening. They have got 2 runners home. They're looking for more. 1 out, bases loaded, bottom of the second. SteepleCats leading 2-0 here on just a spectacular day for baseball in Berkshire County. Here's the 1-2 pitch, misses for ball 2-2-2. Crowd really into it. The music is getting really loud here on Flag Day at Joe Wolf Field. And the 2-2 misses downstairs in the dirt, and the count is full. Once again, full count, 1 out, bases loaded. We saw that as the case earlier in this inning when Dustin Shirley was batting. He drew a walk, scoring the first run. Now it's full count on Daniel Holst with the bases loaded and 1 out. The pitch from Miller. That's down the right field line. That is going to land fair. That's going to score at least 1. Shirley scores. They're going to wave Brennan home. They're going to hold Rioto at third. And 2 runs are in. No, make that 3 runs in as Shirley did go in to score. And advancing to third on the throw is Daniel Holst. So that will likely be a 2 RBI double. And then, so there's a 2-run double, 2 RBIs for Holst, and they're going to say that Holst advanced to third on the error, and the third run, Rioto scoring from first, they're going to say he advanced to third on the double and then scored on the error. So that's 2 RBIs on the play, even though 3 runs scored. And that looks like that's going to be all for Miller. And we will have a pitching change here at Joe Wolf Field. The SteepleCats blowing it open early, 5-0 here in the bottom of the second. We'll be back. Welcome back to Joe Wolf Field as the SteepleCats on a roll here in the bottom of the second. 5 runners have already come to cross the plate this inning, and the starting pitcher for the Sanford Mainers and Troy Miller is already out of the game, just last an inning and a third. Gives up 5 runs, is responsible for the runner that is currently on third in Daniel Holst. And on in relief is Cole Whitney out of St. John's, just finished his sophomore year. On in relief here, trying to stop the bleeding, get the Mainers out of it. Certainly a lot of baseball to be played. This is far from over. Nevertheless, the SteepleCats have, for the time being, blown it open here in the bottom of the second and still looking to do more.
Oh, and that they have. And really the funny thing about this is that entire time the bases were loaded, one pitch away from getting out of the inning. Literally a ground ball would have gotten him out of the frame, but alas, it's sometimes just how the cookie crumbles. Credit to the North Adams SteepleCats. Base hits, single through the right side, and then a double down the line. A couple well-hit baseballs in that frame, and things just not breaking the right way for Troy Miller as he gives way to Cole Whitney.
Here's John Mazza, who has a base hit in this game already last inning in his first time up, a 2-out single. Once again, you are listening to Sanford Legends and the NECBL Broadcast Network. And here's the pitch to Mazza, and that is going to be popped up foul behind the plate, 0-1. Last game, the SteepleCats yesterday scored 5 runs in the top of the 7th to take an 8-0 lead and winning 8-0 over Winnipesaukee in yesterday's game, and now they score another 5-run inning here in the bottom of the second. In this one, the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed, a nasty pitch that time by Whitney, and it's 0-2 on Mazza. So the SteepleCats showing they can put up crooked numbers.
And for Whitney, the whole thing right now for him, just throw strikes. That was what got Miller into all that trouble. You have a single and a double, that's 1 run.
And that's another foul, and it's still 0-2 on John Mazza.
You allow a couple base hits, you allow a run or two, but when you put guys on by way of the walk, put those free base runners on, that is what will come back to hurt you. It's what hurt Miller. And even still, line on him not close with that runner at third base.
On deck is Keaton Wright. The 0-2 to Mazza is in the dirt for ball 1, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that's up and in. Almost hit him, but Mazza able to get out of the way, 2-2. Dimensions here at Joe Wolf Field, 325 down both the right and left field line, 385 to straightaway center, 358 to right and left center field. Here's the 2-2. That misses in the dirt. Ball 3, 3-2. So the third time this inning we've had a full count.
That tells you just how close Miller, predecessor here to the current relief pitcher, how close he was to getting out of this inning, or at least working his way towards the end of this inning. Absolutely,
and the 3-2, that's in there for a called strike 3 for the second out. A huge strikeout for Whitney. So 2 gone, a runner on third, and in each of the previous 2 full counts this inning, the batters drew walks, and now we get a strikeout here. And now here's Keaton Wright, the 9th batter to come to the plate this inning for the SteepleCats. Right out of the University of Edwardsville, just finished his junior year, 6 foot, 210 pounds. He's from Troy, Illinois. And he now jumps ahead in the count here, 1-0. 3 home runs on the season by him already. As I mentioned before, he hit one yesterday, a 2-run home run back in the third to give the SteepleCats a 3-0 lead early in that game. The 1-0 misses 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes on Keaton Wright. And the 2-0, that misses for ball 3. 3-0. That was inside, almost hit him. So now 3-0 on Keaton Wright. Oh, he called it a strike. So no, 2 balls and 1 strike. And so 2 balls and 1 strike. Looked like Wright was trying to get out of the way of that one, but called a strike. And now the 2-1 misses for ball 3, 3-1. And now the 3-1 misses, so Wright does draw the walk. And it's now runners at the corners with just 2 outs.
Not the worst thing in the world. You set up a force at first or second, but the lack of control here has been sure irritating for Chris Morris, the Mainers dugout. And
so now the SteepleCats have officially batted around in the inning. This is the 10th batter to come to the plate, and Benjamin Bengtson, who led off this inning with a strikeout. But after that point, the SteepleCats started to pour it on, and he fouls one off his leg for strike 1, 0-1.
Looked a lot worse initially after he fouled that off himself. He went down. It looked like Bankston almost fouled that off his lower back somehow. His body worked that way, but it got him off the backside, and he tumbled down to the earth, popped right back up, but initially, it looked like he was in a great deal of pain.
And he's behind here 0-1. When the SteepleCats scored 5 runs in the top of the 7th yesterday, they also saw 10 hitters come to the plate. And now this is the 10th hitter to come to the plate here in the bottom of the 2nd. The 0-1 pitch. That's line foul 0-2 into the Maynard dugout area. And it's going to become a souvenir for one of the Maynard players. No balls, 2 strikes. Just beautiful, beautiful night for baseball. The 0-2 in the dirt. That gets by the catcher. Here comes the runner. And it's 6-0 SteepleCats. They're going to call that a passed ball. So Holst coming in on the passed ball. And they get the runner home from third. Advancing to second is Keaton Wright. It is 6-0 SteepleCats. The SteepleCats once again scoring lots of runs early. We've been seeing that basically every game for so far this year. They jump on top of teams early and often. We're seeing it again here.
And that does close the line on Troy Miller. Inning and a third, 4 hits, 6 runs. Walked 3, struck out 2, faced 11 men.
We're getting a check on the umpire here. And hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he's getting beat to crap. That's Chris Payne,
I didn't see exactly what happened there with him, but presumably tried to get out of the way real quickly. I mean, that ball squirted off the catcher, Montpierre, to his left. To Montpierre's left, that is. And as a catcher, you're an umpire. You try to get out of the way. You want position on home plate so you don't get screened by the base runner coming in or the catcher or a pitcher possibly. And it appears in doing that, that's where the injury occurred, somewhere along those lines.
Can't speculate on any further than that. And now he's getting up, and applause from the crowd. And you still just got to hope he's okay. You always are happy to see when people are shaking off, but still you hope he's okay.
And not sure what happened to him, but a big smile on the other umpire's face when he did stand up.
So 6-0 SteepleCats in the bottom of the 2nd here in North Adams. There are 2 outs. Another runner on second base. SteepleCats still trying to pour it on.
And they've shown no signs of stopping in this inning. That might be the scariest thing. For Sanford, you still have a runner in scoring position despite there being 2 outs. I mean, if you remember the song that doesn't end from when you were a little kid, I mean, this very well could be the inning that doesn't end.
The song that never ends?
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Of course. And the 1-2 misses for ball 2, 2-2.
It's an old staple of lamb chop back in the day. From the
Way back.
Right, very, very formative years.
The song definitely stuck.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic.
The 2-2 pitch. And that's going to be a called strike 3 on the inside corner, so the Mainers do get out of it, but not before a 6 spot is put up on the scoreboard by the SteepleCats as we head to the top of the third. You're listening to Sanford Legends and the NECBL Broadcast Network. We'll be back.